What's up YouTube? My name's Quickie, welcome back to the channel. I am having a tidy up because I've got somebody coming and he's got a workshop and his workshop doesn't look anything like my workshop does at the minute. His workshop's very tidy. Mine not so much, but that's for good reason. We've got loads of stuff going on, like I mean an awful lot of stuff going on, which is why all the mess. And it's mostly down to this. It does look messy, I will give you that, but it's a work in progress. So it has to be messy just for this bit, Today is Wednesday, so Monday, Tuesday I've had Jamie in, and we've just been goofing about trying to get this M unit wired up. So here's the old loom. We've had like a couple of little bits off it, nothing much, but it's just like a couple of connectors for the igniter unit and stuff like that. So that's all good and peachy, and then literally everything else is just cobbled together. It's not going to be staying like that. I've got a nice new wiring loom, or wiring kit over there, which has got all the different gauges of wire, all the little connectors and the little ferrules that go on the end and all that sort of malarkey. So it will be like a proper tidy little loom. Got some waterproof connectors and we'll be doing it nice. But for now it's just a complete mess, just so we can figure out what needs to be connected to what. And then I've also got to make up a load of little grounding points which I can weld to the frame. They'll just be like little M5 points, but I'll get them done on the lathe later on today, and I can stick them in places, sort of strategically around the frame. And then we're in, it should be running. It should run. Right, something else I've been doing. More of that in a minute. But this is just an update really. It's a giveaway update. So basically I just want to make sure that, what am I doing here? I'm trying to talk and do stuff and it's not working. Right, you can stay, you're rubbish. Right, so this is a giveaway update. I'm trying to do these on a weekly basis, just so you know what's what, what's coming, blah, 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 blah. Just go through stuff, and if there's any ideas and stuff that I'm kicking about at the minute, we can chat about that as well. But first and foremost, from the bottom of my heart, I want to thank all these people up here in the corner. They've all chipped in on the bike. We've had a couple of new ones and stuff, so your name's going to be appearing at the end. But this is the easiest way that I can confirm that I've seen your contribution and your name is going in the hat, so you stand a chance of winning the bike. That really is the main reason for doing these. However, there's other stuff that I can cover as well. I really do just want to take all this and chuck it in the bin. But I won't, just because, you never know. What am I doing? I'll stick it all over there for now. That'll be fine. Right, so what else is going on? Well, this week I'm just cracking on trying to get the M unit done, basically. I really want to hear the fight fire over. Well, I'm not saying we breathed life into it already. It coughed and wheezed a bit. So, as it stands at the moment, we had all the plugs were out of it, just so there's no compression, there's no spark or anything, it's not going to fire, there's no fuel hooked up to it or anything else. But this engine has basically been sealed up with no oil in it for like over a year. So part of me was thinking, well, I don't know, all the oil's going to come out the galleries and it's all just sat in the bottom, so there ain't going to be anything at the top. So having a chat with Andy, and he said just pull the plugs out and turn it over a few times just to get auto circulating back up to the top. So that's how we had the engine whilst we was cocking about with the M unit. We have got a couple of wires the wrong way around, which I need to change over. However, it did, when we was doing the Bluetoothy thing to my phone just to try and see if everything working, it did actually turn the engine over. So we had to stop that in a hurry because that wasn't really planned. So we know that there's something going on, and I think I've got my head around the last little few bits and stuff. So I'm hoping, like today, tomorrow, I'll get the rest of it all finished up, and then I'm just going to put some decent earths in to get rid of half of that cabling, and I'm just going to screw all stuff out of the way. Basically, that's it. A proper wiring loom will come after dyno day. and there will be like a proper diagram and all that sort of malarkey and all, you know, all the stuff that I said that we would do. But for now, it's just going to be cobbled together. All right. What else was? Oh yeah, I've been doing this. I'm still undecided about this. Where's the tank? Let me show you. Right, so this is the fuel tank, OBS, and I broke the other surround on it. So I've been working on this. This is just going to be a replacement fuel filler that this thing will screw onto. Right, so I've got two options. I'm probably going to carry on doing this anyway. I haven't been filming this just because I've been doing it bits and pieces really. I'm probably going to carry on doing this anyway just to see what it looks like, because I could always use it, you know, at a later point or something like that. But essentially this has got, it's an aluminium cap with a steel set of threads on a collar, and ordinarily this would just get welded into the tank. What I am probably going to do is I'm going to plate over that hole, I'm going to drill a hole in it, and I'm going to weld that into it so he sits just proud, and then he's just going to screw straight onto this, just because that way it'll be absolutely flush and plain. It'll all get blended in with the tank. You know, you're not going to see a join or any of that sort of stuff, and it will just look really, really clean and simple, like really clean and simple. And it ain't going to take much to do it. I just need, you know, a circle that big of steel, a hole that big for that bit to go in, and, you know, we just stick it on top. The cap is vented, so where are we? Right, there's the underside of the cap. There's a hole there, and if you want to do it and have a look, that plate obviously sits down on a rubber which seals around this bit, which is around the tank, so nothing can come out there. However, it is vented to the back, and as you close it up, you can see a gap around the top of that disc, so, you know, air can get in there. Idea being is that once this is all sealed up and whatnot, and you start using fuel level's going to go down, and you want to replace it with air, you know, just so you don't get that vacuum. You don't want to fuel starve it, basically. So I could do that. I don't have to put another vent in this at all. That's all fine and peachy. However, it's like, I don't know, I don't know whether to go that route or this route. So with this one, I still need to bore the hole out the middle, and then I need to put some threads on the top end of this. So essentially this is going to replace that threaded boss over there. So we'll have threads on this bit, bore that out to 30 something mil, basically just big enough to get a, you know, a fuel pump through. This has already got the steps in it. I need to do the 4 locating holes that will marry up to the mounting points in there. He'll basically go in there just, and then on the back side it'll be welded, and this bit will stick down inside the tank, and that is how you would have your fuel filler. So it'll literally be a disc, which is a very snug fit, which will sit down like that. Come on, you get the gist. And then that would, you know, without this, that would screw on top. So, you know, it gives you a bit of a surround. You would have 4 fixings there, but it does mean that you can pull it off, and you can put like a regular fuel filler on it, if you wanted to, you know, have a key to your petrol tank, basically. In this, you don't. You just press the button and it comes up. That's it. There is no key. I prefer this. If it was my own bike, I would be doing that. But this, I don't know. It might be more practical just because it's a giveaway bike. So I'm going to make it anyway. I'm going to see what it looks like, and if I'm happy with it, I'll go with it. If I'm not, then I won't. Simple as that, really, isn't it? But he is going to fit. It is snug, it is tight, but he's going to fit. Right, so the reason I'm having a bit of a tidy is because we've got Crispy coming down. He should be down pretty soon, actually. Crispy is, I asked him to come down and have a quick look at the bike. He's going to have to ignore the wiring, and he's going to have to use his imagination just a little bit. But I want him to go through with us what is actually needed to stick the bike on the dyno, and I want to go through with him the stuff that I want to check out. So like, we've got the little wish can up there. with a link pipe and all that sort of stuff. That is what it was previously run on a dyno with. So it won't be a like for like comparison, because it is really, really cold at the minute, like really cold. That will change the amount of horsepower you get, because obviously the air's denser and all that sort of stuff. And it's a different dyno, and it's a different day, and it'll be different barometric pressures and all this sort of stuff, and it all does play a part. But you know, I want to know. So as well as that little wish can that we've got up there, right, I need to empty them. I'll be back in a minute. It's all right, I've got a shot blaster. So yeah, and then we've got, I've got the GP can up there, and then I've also got the exhaust that I've made, and he's the one that's sitting on the bike. So again, we have some options with this as well. I'm going to measure up the tail section, and I'm going to get a DB killer for it. So there will be hole drilled in the end of it, just so you can stick a DB killer in it, should we need to. But I want to see which one is going to work best. It's not all about noise. It's not. The MSVA test gives you a decibel limit of 99 decibels, which, you know, if you've got an obnoxious bike, that's not really a lot. I think on the Wish can, it went to 101, if I remember. It's something 100, 101, you know, maybe 102, I don't know. It was somewhere around there, I think. But there is a way of measuring it, and obviously we go through all that. But I want to see which one is better for this engine. So, you know, it might be that the exhaust that I've made is a bit of a compromise. It is way too loud and noisy, and if you bung a DB killer in the back end of it to get through an MSVA test or an MOT or whatever else, it, you know, kills the power. I don't know, but I want to test them to see what the difference is between each of them, just so we know what, you know, what is best. And okay, if we're making a compromise, where are we making a compromise, and how much by? You know, I love the look of this exhaust, but I still to this day do not know if it's going to work or not. So, you know, I want to know. The other thing we've got is we've got the Dynojet kit in there, because we've got the pod filters on as well. Now, Dynojet don't normally do a stage kit for pod filters on a 600. It's normally like 750s and above when it comes to all this sort of stuff. So this kit was put together by Dynojet for a Bandit 6 on pods, and they reckon it just works straight out the box. Well, I want to prove it. I want to see what the fueling is, and if we need to tweak anything, yeah, then we can tweak it and have at it. So we need to go through all these plans with Crispy, see what he thinks, make a bit of a plan, and also pick a date. If we pick a date, then I've got a deadline that I need to work to. But I work quite all right with deadlines, actually. That's not so bad. Right. I need to give these a proper scrub. Nasty as. I think that's probably where I'm going to leave it. It's really just an update to let you know what's coming. So I'm not sure in what order these videos are going to be coming out, because I've got a few on the go at the minute. But there's going to be, this update video is going to go out next, just so you know what the plans are. Then when Crispy gets here, we're going to have a chat about the bike and what has to go on it for dyno, and the way that he plans on running it, and what we're going to test, and how we're going to do it, and more importantly, when we're going to do it, all that sort of stuff. So you get to see what the plans are there. If there's anything that's missing or that I haven't thought of, then I need to get that sorted and on the bike and have it all safe and sound. So that's peachy. But then following on from that is just getting the bike ready for dyno. So the first obvious thing is the wiring. I need to tidy up the wiring, make sure it all works and it actually runs and charges the bike. I've got the battery tray to do, which as soon as the steel brush is good, it's not going to be a biggie. It just needs welding and then mounting on 4 tabs at the back. Like I say, the rubber band ain't going to be here, but we'll zip tie it for now. Get that out of the way and it's all good and cushy. And basically just get it ready for the dyno. The dyno date is going to be its own little video as well. We will go through the numbers, we'll go through what we try on it with the different exhausts and any tweaks and changes and all that sort of stuff. Because I can't find anything on it. There's nothing there as a reference. But Dynojet reckon it should work. So, you know, we'll just see what's what, eh? And then we just sort of carry on from there, basically. But I think that's where I'm going to leave it for this one. I just wanted to let you know what the plans are. why I'm charging around like headless chicken, and why I've got multiple jobs on the go when I said I was only going to do one thing at a time. You can't win them all, can you? But anyway, that's where I'm going to leave it for this one. Thank you to every single one of these people that's appearing up in the corner there. They've all chipped in to support the build. And they're the folks that is basically setting the budget on this, and one of them is going to win it, and I really do hope whoever gets it is just chuffed to bits with it. It's not going to be for the lack of effort, I can tell you that much. It's going to be a cracking bike. I'm going to be really sorry to see it go, actually. I can't really keep it though now. But anyway, that's where I'm going to leave it for this one. Thank you ever so much for watching. I do hope you're well and staying safe, and we'll see you on the next one. Laters. Oh, they're nasty.